Good evening. Welcome back. It's Dr. Tabby Cat, and it is late and it is storming, but we are going to do a 10 card spread, a love spread, but it is a various card questionnaire that not only answers love for yourself, but also answers love for another. So it is dealing with shadow work and will help you answer questions on love, on why you're having issues with it, and anything pertaining to that and within yourself. All right. And there's been a lot of synchronicities and signs popping up the last few days. This month, the month of May, starts basically Judgment Day is past, so now this month is when karma starts hitting everyone. So basically, if you know people that have done you wrong, basically you don't want to be in the vicinity around them. You don't want to still continue speaking with them, because when the tower starts falling, if you're around them, you will be affected as well, and you can be affected in the same aspects that they will, meaning your finances, your health, many various aspects in life, just depending on how they're getting hit. So you need to be aware of that, because you don't want their karma to spill over onto your life, because you want them to actually receive the karma no matter how bad it is, even though you might be an empath and you feel bad for them. It needs to be dealt with, and they do need to go through it, and that is the only way that they can come out the other side and actually start to heal and learn. Hopefully, the point of it is to learn and to change their ways and repent. So just make sure that you know who it is that you are around in your circles. And this can be family, friends, whoever, co-workers. It doesn't make a difference. If it's family and you know that they have karma coming to them, it's the same thing. If they have karma coming to them and you're in the area, well, that karma's going to hit you as well. So just be aware. So if you see like your finances getting hit, then you might want to take a look at your inner circle and see who's all around. And I've already seen many things going on the last few days. A lot of chaos, a lot of arguing amongst people, just breaking out of nowhere. My days have been good, but just the chaos around me have been a lot. So make sure you're taking your salt baths. Make sure you're cleansing your spaces, your car, your home, yourself. Make sure you're doing your prayers as soon as you get up in the morning, when you go to bed, and throughout the day. Make sure you're calling your power back, and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get started. So I have the main cards out, and then we'll do the spread, and then I'm just going to clarify the spread with intuitive cards tonight, which is what I was being nudged to use. So to start off, as usual, with the astro cards, tonight we got Pisces, number 12, with Sensitize, Number 52, trine sextile symbiosis. Number 40, second house resources. Number 1, Aries act. All right, so number 12 with Pisces, we have sensitize. Remember, we're doing a love spread, a 10-card love spread, which this has flowers, the fish on it, and lots of circles, some blues, some greens or turquoise, and some yellows. All right, it says, Pisces permeability can leave you lost in a swamp, amorphous, wondering whether your sadness is your own or if it has been sponged up from your surroundings. Emphasize with others, but don't try to carry everyone else's pain for them and double your burdens. Tune in to a healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. All right. And then also with Pisces, we got serendipity, number 18. So I will read that. So for Pisces, we got serendipity, number 18. All right, serendipity for the love reading states, and we have flower, some of the same colors in the background. Okay, we have for relationships, Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit brings. Okay. And then we got Wild Lands, number 33. So it is a deer sitting down, holding in each hand little bush. And some lights around it. Number 33, Wild Lands. So let's read that. All right, juniper. In that part of the untamed terrain where no other plant has yet put down roots, juniper is the first to arrive. It does not need the ground to be perfect. It just needs a space and a spark. Life is born of dust and light. Here you meet a large white stag who reveals the names of the first women who walked in the wild lands. Let them be the ones to speak to you. The small fairy people also move around the space. They are the ones to protect the plants. The road through does not exist until you enter it. All right, so it says Spirit's putting a divine partner in your path. The Wildland says the road of the path does not begin until you enter that path. So, all right. Next one, 52, Trinsextile Symbiosis, 52. All right. We have the path of least resistance can be both delightful and limiting. Don't get stuck in a comfortable rut. Lift one another up and grow. The comfortable of compatible aspects can help us build up the resources needed to do the hard work and face the tough stuff. All right, and then we got Between Worlds, number 3. All right, Between Worlds for relationship. Number 3. This is a time to explore the new energy between you and another. It is not a moment for certainty, but rather for discovery and curiosity. You don't know yet if this will last forever, so allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship that is not to be dismissed or hurried. So don't hurry it. Take your time, get to know each other, and enjoy the little steps at the beginning. All right, and then we have number 37, If a Dream Had a Name. So basically here you have a woman sitting on the sandy beach and she has clouds above her with fish. And basically here you're supposed to give this dream a name. So she's sitting here daydreaming. And her dream includes fish, which fish is all about prosperity, abundance. Clouds, as you see, the clouds are covering her eyes, so she's not able to see clearly. So she's in a fog and a daze. But not always do you need to see with your physical eyes. You can see with your spiritual eyes. And just know that things are going to work out. All right, the next one is number 40, second house. All right, number 40, second house. So we have money, the hand, and the arrow through the apple. What you see is not always all there is. If you are looking for emotional and spiritual satisfaction in your stuff, it will never be enough because it never quite scratches that itch. Your skills, your resources, and your interests can all be sacred if you make an offering of your intention and engage your work for the benefit of all sentient beings. All right, and the next one is regeneration, number 46. 46. And this, I'll show you the cards in a minute, but all three of these cards have basically the similar pictures on them. All right, so for this one, for relationship, regeneration, it states the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment, you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now's the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. All right. And this one is 29, the Pearl Veil. All right. The Pearl Veil, Lunaria, waits for time to do its work. Only then will it open the thin veil that protects its transparency hidden in its fruit. You're also crossing something thin, almost invisible, in the water that envelops you. There is a voice that calls you to look beyond. Let the veil shift without tears. See what is on the other side. Maybe the reflection is a face that resembles you, that has appeared just now in the oblique light of the moon. And then let me show you the cards. All three of these basically have the same shape. They're all of a hand shape holding something. Like she's holding the moon. This one's just holding its hand out. And this one's holding the apple. So it's all about abundance. All right, and the last one is Aries Act. Number 1. All right. Accidents increase when you are in a hurry, rushing through a project, or impatiently distracted. This flammable temperament can spark inspiration or spark a conflagration. Proceed with caution. Aries marks the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere. After a long, dark winter, the dead landscape comes alive. Plants that were shorn of leaves or dormant now breathe new life. This is a brave miracle, and it can be your miracle. Feel the flowing inner life force, trust the divine direction, and summon the courage to begin. So you guys are getting a lot of divine life force at play. And basically you just have to trust your intuition and pay attention to the signs and signals that you're getting. If not, you will miss it, and you will miss your doors, and they will close. All right, next is 43, Deep Knowing. All right, 43, Deep Knowing. It's the owl on the moon. All right, relationships. There are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey. So pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. And the last one is 38, Sacred Pause. She's sitting on a rock over top the shore, the ocean. All right. It says, the moment before something happens is like a blessing because all things are possible. It is in this moment when you can still choose. Pausing in this suspended space is necessary for you now, like the rockweed that lives between the sea and sky, between shore and depth. Here, the sacred pause is celebrated when not everything has to be done, not everything has to be said. Sometimes it is enough to stand still for a moment to receive the right inspiration that leads to action. So sometimes you can take action without everything being said, because sometimes you don't always have to say everything at once, and not always does everything have to be completed before you take action. You just have to know, and honestly let the other person know that you are taking action, and then that way they know what's going on and they have no questions, and then that helps everybody out, because in due time things will be completed and you will have all the answers. All questions will be answered for both parties. All right, so this is going to be a 10 card spread, and like I said, it's a love spread. It's going to go over underlying issues, work that has to be put in, the philosia, which is self-love, the philia, which is affectionate love, the storge, which is the familiar love, the eros, which is romantic love, the pragma, which is enduring love, the ludos, which is playful love, the mania, which is obsessive love, and the agape, which is selfless love. And this is all part of shadow work, just more on the lighter side. And it's always good to keep a journal of all the shadow work you do, so that you can go back and look at your notes of everything you've done. So that way, if you ever have a moment to where you're not feeling so bright, you can always read over it and see how far you've come. And sometimes that brightens your day just to see that. All right, let's see. So the first card is going to be the underlying issues, and it states, what stands in the way of love? What blocks you from receiving or giving love openly? So underlying issues, card number 1. What stands in the way of love? What blocks you from receiving or giving love openly? And if you want, you can write down these questions as we go, and you can actually answer them on your own as we go as well. Okay, underlying issues. What stands in the way of love? What blocks you from receiving or giving love openly? All right. I'll put it there. So that's number 1. Underlying issues, okay? And then number 2 is the work. What inner work has to still be done in order to open yourself to love more fully, or what work has to be done in order to maintain love, all right? So number 2, what inner work has to still be done in order to open yourself to love more fully, or what work has to be done in order to maintain love? What inner work has to still be done in order to open yourself to love more fully, or what work has to be done in order to maintain love? What work has to be done in order to maintain love? What work has to be done in order to maintain love? Okay, that's number 2. All right, number 3, self-love. How do you perceive yourself? This creates the foundation for all the other cards. What is your relationship to yourself? Okay. How do you perceive yourself? Self-love, number 3. How do you perceive yourself? What is your relationship to yourself? What is your relationship to yourself? How do you perceive yourself? How do you perceive yourself? Okay. 1, 2. All right, so that's number 3. All right, now we're going to number 4, affectionate love. How do you relate platonically? What is the state of your friendships? All right, how do you relate platonically? What is the state of your friendships? How do you relate platonically? What is the state of your friendships? How do you relate platonically? What is the state of your friendships? Yeah. Okay, and this basically, well, I'll go over it in a minute. We'll just get the cards out here first. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. Familiar love. How do you relate to family? What are the common dynamics within your blood or chosen family? Okay, how do you relate to family? What are the chosen dynamics or the common dynamics within your blood or chosen family? How do you relate to family? What are the common dynamics within your blood or chosen family? How do you relate to family? What are the common dynamics within your chosen family? Okay, that was number 5. Now, number 6 is romantic love. How do you relate to a romantic partner? If you have a partner, how would you describe your relationship? If you're single, how do you relate to the idea of a partner? So, how do you relate to a romantic partner? If you have a partner, how would you describe your relationship? If you are single, how do you relate to the idea of a partner? All right. So, how do you relate to a romantic partner? How do you see yourself as a romantic partner? How do you see yourself in the relationship with a romantic partner? If you're single, how do you see the idea of a partner? How do you relate yourself? How do you relate yourself as a romantic partner? How do you relate yourself as a romantic partner? How do you relate yourself as a romantic partner? Okay. That is there. 1, 2, 3. So that was 6. So number 7, enduring love. How do you feel about commitment? All right, the big question. How do you feel about commitment? Oh, shoot. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goes here. And 8, 9, 10. Okay. Number 8, playful love. How do you feel about dating? How do you flirt? Okay, number 8, playful love. How do you feel about dating? How do you flirt? Oh, that flew out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll do it here. 8. Okay, number 9, obsessive love. When does your love go overboard? When have you caused harm with your love? Okay, obsessive love. When does your love go overboard? When have you caused harm to your love? When does your love go overboard? When have you caused harm with your love? When does your love go overboard? Okay. And the last one, selfless love. How do you express selfless love? What do you give to others freely without expecting anything in return? How do you express selfless love? What do you give to others without expecting anything in return? What do you give to others without expecting anything in return? Okay. Oh my. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so for number 1, the underlying issues. What stands in the way of love? What blocks you from receiving or giving love openly? And we got the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Cups. So the underlying issue of what's standing in the way of love and what's blocking you is basically your sneaky underlying ways. So if you have any cheating ways, lying ways, deceptive ways, that's what's keeping you from this 10 of Cups. It could also be family, people in the family, that's keeping you in this deceptive way. Maybe they're lying for you, to your partners, trying to keep you out of trouble, and either way that's getting you into trouble. So if you have family lying for you about where you've been at all night, about why you're not answering the phone, what have you, that's what's blocking you from receiving and giving love openly. and that needs to be changed. That's something you need to work on. All right. So the next one, number 2. What inner work has to still be done in order to open yourself to love more fully? Or what work has to be done in order to maintain love? Okay. So the work, what inner work has to be done? So we have, so the work that still needs to be done in order to open yourself up to love more fully is, you got the 3 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. So lots of Pentacles, which is money. It's work, which goes with work. So the 3 of Pentacles is working with others, working in a community. So you need to learn to work with others better. You need to open yourself up. Maybe you're an introvert. Maybe you don't do well with working with others. So you need to get out more, get in the community, work more. You also got the 4 of Pentacles, which is 1 step up from the 3 of Pentacles. Now the 4 of Pentacles is holding back. Basically, we have this gentleman here. He's got 4 locks, deadbolts on his door. So he's holding back whatever is in this lockbox here, his fish or whatever he's got. He doesn't want anybody else to get it. That could be your heart. Maybe you're giving too quickly when you meet people. So, and you can still be an introvert and give too quickly. Just know that when you meet people, you can exchange information and things about you, but there are some things you should hold back. Now, if it's pertinent to, let's say, them maybe saying yes or no to the relationship, then yes, bring it up if it's something important. But if it's something that it can wait down the line to say, then I would say hold back. All right, so 3 of Pentacles, working with the community, getting out more, getting yourself out there, be seen. 4 of Pentacles, hold back some information that's not pertinent for right now. 8 of Pentacles is working, mastering a skill, perfecting a skill. So you may want to make things perfect. Maybe you're a perfectionist, but when it comes to love, things are not going to be perfect. It doesn't matter what you say. Okay, you say you want to make 50,000 or 70,000 or 100,000 before you meet the right person. Well, you know, the universe is going to have stuff mess up, and you may never get there because things are always going to happen, because the universe is telling you to stop with trying to control everything that's happening. You don't have control over stuff. So stop trying to perfect it, stop trying to control it, because the more you try to control a situation, the worse of an outcome that you're going to get. Now, if you just go with the flow and get out in the community, meet people, open yourself up, and let things happen naturally, then guess what? After you meet that person, your 50, 70, 100,000, it's going to come. All right. And then your last card is the 4 of Wands, which is a celebration. because after you do all three of those things, you can finally celebrate. All right, have fun. The more you have fun and allow your inner child to come out and have fun, then things happen on a faster timeline. The more you try to control things, then your timeline slows down, and that's when you start getting upset because you start to feel stuck and stagnant, and things are not fun then. So just remember that. All right, number 3, self-love. How do you perceive yourself? This creates the foundation for all other cards. What is your relationship to yourself? Okay, so for this one, we got a few cards. So this is how do you perceive yourself, and what is your relationship to yourself? So this is an important one. All right, so we have let me move that. I'm gonna look something up real quick. All right, we got the 3 of Cups, which on here we have 3 friends with coffee. They just got finished skiing. All right, so when you get the 3 of Cups, it's a celebration, it's community bonding, it's shared successes and friendship. All right. And then you got the Ace of Swords, which we always know the swords are the mental, it's the truth. And so if you are the Ace of Swords, then that means you are a truth teller. So you see yourself as somebody who tells the truth. It's having mental clarity, breakthroughs, victory, and communication. So clear communication. So you're somebody who enjoys friendships, bonding, special bonds, and mental clarity and truthful communication. All right, then we have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Page of Cups. All right, the Queen of Pentacles, we have a woman that's dressed nicely. She's in her home, sitting on her chair, legs crossed. She's holding an apple. Okay, remember the Queen of Pentacles is an earth sign. She's a mother, she's nurturing. All right, she is the epitome of abundance, resourcefulness, productivity, and practicality. So you see yourself as someone who enjoys bonding, nurturing relationships with friendships, someone who has mental clarity, truthfulness, and communication, and someone who has practicality and is nurturing. All right, then we have the King of Wands. Now we all know that the Wands is fire sign. It's somebody who has fun. They can be a little over the top sometimes with their attitude because they can have a lot of aggression. Now here we have someone that's playing hockey and he just scored a goal or whatever you call it. I don't know. King of Wands. All right. So the King of Wands, he's a natural born leader. He's a visionary and has charisma. So you see yourself as the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands. And it doesn't matter. We both have masculine and feminine energies. So that's okay. So you see yourself as a natural born leader and somebody who is nurturing and practicality. All right, and then the last one is the Page of Cups. Now the Page of Cups, you talk about when you want love. Here we have a little boy who has a pail, and then when he's at the lake, and there is a fish jumping out of the lake to him. So the Page of Cups is a messenger. It's intuitive, creativity, and it basically deals with emotions because it deals with water, and it's a water sign. All right, so that's pretty good for how you view yourself. Yeah, so how do you perceive yourself? That's pretty good. All right, so you view yourself as someone who enjoys bonding and having close friendships, having truthful communication and mental clarity, someone who is nurturing and has practicality, someone who's a natural born leader, and someone who is intuitive, maybe a water sign, and has emotions, deals with their emotions. All right, now for number 4, we have affectionate love. How do you relate platonically? What is the state of your friendships? Okay, and we got the moon. All right, so with the moon, this can be good and bad because with the moon, as we know, the moon is secrets, but it's also subconscious. But with this question being for when we're talking about friendships and we're talking about platonic friendships, it also deals with illusion, intuition, uncertainty, and confusion. So we are on how do you relate platonically and what is the state of your friendships. So if we're talking about the moon and we're talking about illusions, intuition, uncertainty, and confusion, okay, so you have intuition. So you use your intuition when dealing with your friends and with platonic relationships. There's a dog there too. Dogs are loyal. But also you have illusions and confusion surrounding the moon. So that means that some of you need to look more into your inner circle. It could be family, it could be friends, co-workers, whoever is in your inner circle. And you need to see who is causing illusions and confusion around you so that you can remove them. Now, the ones who are loyal, you can keep, but definitely use your intuition. All right, now we have number 5. which is familiar love. How do you relate to your family? What are the common dynamics within your blood or chosen family? Okay, how do you relate to your family? And what are the common dynamics within your blood or chosen family? All right, so for this one, we have the Six of Swords, the Queen of Cups, Judgment, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so the Six of Swords are swords again. So you know that's mental, that deals with the mind. The Six of Swords is moving to calmer waters after being through rough terrain. But here we have a plane and it's flying over a jungle of trees. So as you see, there's no like clear landing there. So with the Six of Swords, it can show progress through adversity, rational thought processes, emotional healing, transition, and changes. It can also shed light onto different facets of your journey toward healing and growth. All right. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Now, you know the Queen of Cups, that's water. So that deals with the emotions. And let's see. Okay. Now here we have a chef. She is making some fancy meal. All right, the Queen of Cups. She has compassion, she's calm, she shows emotional maturity, she's interconnected with her intuitive processes. So she already intuitively knows how to put this meal together. She probably didn't even need a book to teach her how to make it. And she's emotionally balanced. She knows how to control her emotions. And then we have Judgment and the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is a girl sitting here. She has 3 empty cups that she's already drank hot cocoa. She's on a train looking out the window, and she has 1 cup being handed to her with something in it. It symbolizes discontentment because of focus on what's lacking rather than appreciating what you have, dissatisfaction and contemplation. So basically, instead of being optimistic, you're being pessimistic. So and then Judgment, it encourages, okay, this is a guy, he's doing the ice box challenge where he jumps into the freezing water, the ice water. And Judgment encourages us to confront and learn from our past mistakes for personal growth, reflection, and awakening. It signifies redemption and renewal through self-evaluation. So basically with family, we have Queen of Cups, which is a mother. That's usually a mother figure who usually is emotionally balanced. We have the Six of Swords moving to calmer waters. And then we have Judgment. So that's confronting and learning from the past mistakes. And then we have the Four of Cups. Somebody's being pessimistic. So basically, You have people in your family, or you feel somebody in your family, many people in your family are pessimistic. You feel even though like a mother figure is compassionate and calm, she shows emotional maturity. You feel that she judges people, and so basically you just want to move to calmer waters away from that, because you don't want to be around pessimistic people, which is understandable. Nobody wants to be around that. So you want to fly away from all that. It's where it's more peaceful. And you know, we can't change the people in our family. We can't make them change how they are, so it's up to us to change our own situations and where we are. So just remember that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, romantic love. How do you relate to a romantic partner? If you have a partner, how would you describe your relationship? If you're single, how do you relate to the ideal of a partner? And this is arrows. You got one card, and you got a very good card. It's the World. And in this card, she is standing there. She has the beautiful sun shining over her, and she has her hands out, and she has the sun probing over her with the sun shining right through her. She has the reflection in between her hands. Beautiful card. So with the World, it reflects success, achievement, and fulfillment, completion, and harmony. It plays a crucial role in understanding the deeper meaning of the world. It also means the internet. It means online. So how do you see yourself? Okay, so if you're single, how do you relate to the idea of a partner? So you see them as completing your life, successful, harmony. As you see, she has her two hands out equally. That would be an achievement in life. That'd be a positive thing. So that's good. Not bad. And then if you're already in a romantic partner, how would you describe your relationship? So that would be a successful one. All right, next, enduring love. How do you feel about commitment? Oh boy, we got a whole bunch of cards for this one, so let me get them all out. Oh, gosh. All right. So for this one, how do you feel about commitments? So let's see. We got the Fool, which is a new beginning. We got the 8 of Wands, which is fast action, fast communication. We got the 2 of Pentacles, which is various meanings. It can mean juggling, it can mean balancing. And we got the 9 of Swords, sleepless nights, being all up in your head. We got the sun, which can mean someone's actually going to have birth the sun, but it's also the sun illuminating things, meaning anything in the dark will come to light. And then we got the Page of Wands, which is a fiery new beginning, passionate new beginning. So this was, how do you feel about commitment? Okay, so as we said, the Fool. I have a little boy playing on the ice. Now you know that ice is melting. It can break at any moment. But does he look scared? No, he does not. He has faith that he can walk across there, that God has him, and he's not going to fall in the ice water. So he is spontaneous. He's not afraid to take new beginnings or risk-taking because he knows his intuition is guiding him. You have to embrace change fearlessly, but not recklessly. Change is not always a bad thing, especially with commitment. You have to be open to change. You have to be able, and when we say change, you have to change with somebody, not for somebody. All right. That's something to remember. You change with someone, not for them. Because both partners actually have to come together and actually change as the relationship comes together. You have to mesh and entwine together. And there'll be things that you both have to change within yourselves and negotiate on. So, all right. And then you got the 8 of Wands, which is fast communication, fast actions. It's coming. Okay, this is 8 of the birds moving quickly into the sky. They look like they're in the Colorado Rockies. All right, they're fast moving energy, speed, rapid action, swift changes. There's no delays, there's no clouds in the sky, it's not raining, it's not storming, nothing is stopping them. So nothing stopping this new beginning or this commitment at all. None at all. All right. Then you have the 2 of Pentacles, which is a female with 2 cameras. She has the infinity sign on her sleeve of her shirt, which also makes the number 8. Sometimes the number 8 can be a karmic cycle, so you have to watch out for that. We don't want to get caught up in karmic cycles, so we don't want a commitment with karmic cycles. So, the 2 of Pentacles, managing well amidst chaos, but warns against complacency. Balance between 2 vital areas, typically work-life balance. If things feel out of hand despite efforts, seek help or delegate a task. Beware of illusions and effective multitasking. You don't want to juggle the wrong things, such as a commitment. You don't want to juggle a commitment at all. that would not make your person feel very wanted. So our next card is the Nine of Swords. You have someone sitting on a bench, and above them is 9 icicles about to fall. So you can see why they look frightened. So that signifies the swords. Your mental signifies inner turmoil, anxiety, guilt, fear, and nightmares. The number 9 is completion and the end of a cycle. That's your thoughts, communication, and conflicts. But remember, it's your own inner conflict. It's not anything that's going on the outside, caused by anybody else. It's caused by yourself. All right. And then you have the sun, which, like I said, the sun illuminates everything. It highlights anything in the dark. It shines a light on it. It can also mean that someone's actually going to have a son and birth a son. It can also mean someone's going to birth a new beginning on a business. It can mean a celebration. It can be both spiritual. They're in a church. The baby's about to get baptized. It's the number 19. It's clarity, fun, and optimism. It's always a happy card. And there's a cross on the wall. And your last card's the Page of Wands. Exciting news, creative opportunities, and a new phase. So, how do you feel about commitment? Well, you have new opportunities, new beginnings, fast, quick communication, quick actions, quick movements, balance work and life, your personal life, the sun, happiness, illuminating, birthing new things, and the 9 of Swords. Get out of your head, your own inner turmoil that you're causing yourself. So that's pretty good for how do you feel about commitments. You only have one negative card, and that's the 9 of Swords. You're keeping yourself up at night worrying about things that you probably shouldn't have to worry about. All right, the next one, number 8, playful love. How do you feel about dating? How do you flirt? Okay, how do you feel about dating and how do you flirt? All right, we have the Chariot, the 5 of Wands, and 7. I missed one. Okay, we have the Chariot, the 5 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, well, we know the Chariot, that is movement, forward movement, and that also is balancing. Oh, wait, let me show you. So we got the Chariot, 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the Chariot has 2, I think those are huskies, and she's on them, and they're standing still right now. All right, so it's powerful forward movement, but also calls for maintaining a balance between drive and control. It represents willpower, ambition, success, and control. So it's a dual nature. It can signal triumph through determination or warn against over control and aggression. It's progression or caution. So see, if you have two dogs going two separate ways, then she's not going to be able to control the chariot. So, um, so it's about control, but not having too much control. Basically, having a balance, forward movement. So forward movement in your dating life. And then you have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands, we have 5 kids here snowboarding on the mountain. All right, Five of Wands, facing challenges head on with courage, competition, and disagreements. So, in any relationship or dating, there's always going to be conflicts of some sorts that comes up, but as long as you move forward with it and, you know, an adult way, head on, and you confront them with courage, then there's not going to be a problem. But if you confront them in a childish way and you want to argue and, you know, cause conflict, then it's going to make things worse. All right, your next card is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about having options. We have a gentleman with 7 different bottles of wines to choose from. And he is trying to decide which wine is best for him. So while dating, you always have options, choices, but also remember, you got to use discernment, because sometimes you can be put in an illusion, and things are not always as they seem. Some things may seem attractive on the outside, but then what's on the inside may not be as good as what you thought it might be. So then, lastly, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the best card in the deck. And it signifies positive change, bringing growth opportunities, good luck, and karma. So in your dating life, as long as you keep the chariot moving forward, you deal with conflicts in an adult manner, and you resolve them appropriately, head on, and truthfully, and you don't put yourself in illusions with the options that you have in dating, then the Wheel of Fortune will be in your favor and it will go well. All right, now we are on number 9, obsessive love. When does your love go overboard? When have you caused harm with your love? We got 2 cards for this, and they're both kind of down cards. We got the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So this is talking about obsessive love. When does your love go overboard, and when have you caused harm with your loved? So 3 of Swords is about heartbreak, and the 5 of Cups is about grief and grieving someone, having loss. Five of Cups is about self-reflection after negative emotions, acceptance as a step toward moving forward after loss and regret. It's helping you navigate through emotional turmoil toward healing. All right, and then we know the Three of Swords is heartbreak, heartache, definitely needing to heal the heart. All right, let's see. Emotional pain, heartbreak, separation, or conflict. Find simplicity amidst clutter when dealing with problems. So when have you caused harm with your love? When you've given somebody a heartbreak, or when you've caused them loss. So anytime you've broken up with somebody, let's say you've ghosted them, you didn't say anything to them, you just left them and didn't say anything. Well, that's not good. You need to communicate, or else they're not going to know what's going on, and they're not going to have any closure. All right, number 10, the last one, selfless love. How do you express selfless love? What did you give to others freely without expecting anything in return? Okay, now this one I really didn't like what you guys got for the answers here, because you got the Hanged Man and the Ten of Wands. So basically the Ten of Wands here is a female sitting with 10 baggage in a bus stop booth. So basically the Ten of Wands is burdens, it's extra responsibilities, and it's time to preserve through hard times. It's a period of struggle, but also endurance, and it's a sign to delegate duties and let go of unnecessary tasks. So basically, it's asking you, how do you express selfless love? What do you give to others freely without expecting anything in return? So this could mean that you're actually overgiving and you're not getting anything in return except burdens. So they're basically dumping their issues onto you, but not giving back what you're giving to them. And then we also got the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is not a bad card. It's a little girl on a swing, and it shows her light side and her shadow side, as you see in the water. So it means suspension and letting go. All right. It's embracing change willingly and push past your fears for personal growth. So when it comes to expressing selfless love, it's basically you need to embrace change willingly past your fears, whether it's your light side or your shadow side. And many of you need to get out of your shadow side. Like you're being stuck in your shadow side, like you're wanting to move forward to new love and new relationships and having a new journey, but you still want to hold on to your shadow self. And yeah, it may be fun to be stuck in your shadow self. You know, maybe you think it's boring to go toward your light self. Or maybe you think you're not going to have fun in your light self, or you're never going to get to have fun coming all the way out of your shadow self. But if you're in your shadow self, meaning, and what I mean by that is you are in your shadow self, meaning you're still having sneaky links, you're still cheating, you're still talking to your exes, you're still holding on to family members, friends who you need to stay away from, because like I said, karma's going to be hitting them, and that's going to affect you, your work, your livelihood, your money, so forth. All that's going to affect you, and you're not going to like it when that wall comes tumbling down, because you're only going to get so many chances for this new beginning and for love, and especially to be with your divine partner, no matter if it's a twin flame, soulmate, whatever. The doors are not going to be open forever, because what happens is God will shut that door for you to come through, and he will already have somebody waiting on the other side to come through for that person. So that's why the healing process is so necessary and important to do, because if the feminine has already gone through her healing process and she's on a vibration up here, she's high vibrating, she's not going to wait forever for the masculine to get up there, because healing takes a while. So not always do we have time to wait. Like, nobody wants to wait years for somebody to get their stuff together. So you gotta keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. All right, give me something for the self-love and for love relationships for the collective. Give me something for self-love and the shadow work. Shadow work and love for the collective and what they need to work on. Shadow work and love, what they need to work on. Shadow work and love. And the main thing is you need to be honest. Like, you can't leave people hanging. You need to use your throat chakra. You need to speak. You need to communicate. Because that in itself is karma, and that in itself is not healthy. All right. Okay. Got my intuitive cards, and then I'll get some of these. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 intuitive cards. We have for the lovers, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 glasses of alcoholic drinks here for Cinco de Mayo. Gentlemen all together celebrating. So 6 of cups. So the 6 of cups in tarot is nostalgia. It is a reunion. It's somebody you know from the past. It's a past life soulmate, twin flame. It's more of a past life soulmate. It's somebody you've had past lives with. Cups, they're fluid, water signs, Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer. We have a celebration, happiness, reunion. The cups are all about the same evenness with fluids in them. They're all filled to about the same length. We have, it looks like 2 have the red wine in it, and the rest have the gold. So a happy moment. So, you know, gold is abundance. Red is the root chakra. Gold is actually the best color to surround yourself for protection against anything negative. So, but also gold can also be fool's gold, so you have to watch out for that, because everything that glitters is not always gold. And red also can pertain to the devil, devilish things. And remember, liquor, alcohol is spirits. And they're low vibrational spirits, so that will keep you in a low vibration. All right. The next one, we've had this card before. This is the Twin Flame card. This is the moon and the sun. They're equal partners. They're always equal. They're always connected, no matter day or night. They're always together. They will always fit perfectly, no matter which direction you have them in. They're equally aligned. And his warmth of the sun provides warmth for her, and her coolness provides him coolness to cool down. And remember, she being the moon, she's in control of the circadian rhythm, which is of your heart. And it also is in charge of the waves in the ocean. And the heart chakra, in order to have any kind of love or gratitude, the heart chakra needs to be fully open. And remember, the sun illuminates everything. Anything that's in the dark, the sun will illuminate. And remember, the moon also in the sky illuminates things at night. So Twin Flames is significant. 6 of Cups, that's past life soulmate, is significant for this reading. Okay, and then of course we always have to have a Jezebel pop in the reading to make themselves known. So we have a threesome, a Jezebel that popped in to say hello with herself, and 2 men. So 2 men and a female. Polygamous relationship could mean something, or a threesome can mean something to someone. Maybe someone likes wearing red lipstick. A red dress could be significant. A map or globe could be significant. She's holding a map fan in her hand. The military could be significant. They're both military men. Antique furniture could be significant. She's sitting on an antique sofa. Colors blue and purple could be significant. Dimples could be significant. A mole on the face. She has a mole by the eye. Blonde hair, brown hair. A watch on the right arm. All right, so Jezebels, karmics, endless cycles, infinite loops that are repeated, lessons need to be learned. Now, if you're in polygamous relationships, open relationships, threesomes, those are all karmic relationships. Even if all parties are open to that and are in agreement to that, they're still karmic relationships. There are lessons to be learned in this lifetime. So, and not to scare anybody, but honestly, the outcomes of all those relationships are the same. They're STDs. They all end the same. They really don't have that many great outcomes. It's a lot of arguments. Somebody always feels left out. So, yep, so that's significant. So we got past life soulmate, twin flame, Jezebel, threesomes, polygamous, open relationships, cheating. All right, then we have the Lovers card. We have two lovers dancing the tango in their living room. Very beautiful. The lovers, they match. They're in sync with each other. They know how to read each other. They know what they want. They chose each other. It's a choice. It's the number two. Twos are choices in life. They choose to be with each other. They choose to dance with each other. They choose each other as their partners in life. Two for twin flame. Divine partners. All right, then we have another negative card, which is somebody's wearing a mask. So somebody's around somebody that is wearing a false mask. They're dressing up as a clown. They're not being themselves. And it doesn't even necessarily mean, well, yeah, they're not being themselves. They're being who others want them to be. So they're dressing up. He's dressing up as a clown, so he's not being his true authentic self. He's being who others want him to be. So others want him to be funny, sad clown, happy clown, whatever. So he's going to be that clown. He's not going to be the person he wants to be. But then if he takes off this entire costume, then he feels like people will not like him because then he's not wearing that costume that the others want him to be. So if you're only living and breathing because you're doing what others around you want you to do, whether it's family, friends, partners, whoever, you're not living your authentic self, And you're also not going to be in your north node, because you can only be in your north node if you're authentic to yourself and you're not in a karmic cycle and you're not cheating, you're not lying, things like that. All right, the last card, we have basically the Eight of Cups card, which is walking away. We have a person who's got their backpack on them. It can also be the Fool's card, Fool's Journey. Yeah, I'd say it's the Fool's card. He's got his backpack and his pole, his stick with him. He's ready to go on a new journey, walk away from everything that does not matter. And he's listening to his intuition, following his guides, and just allowing them to guide him where he needs to go. You see, there's nothing blocking his way. These look like obstacles ahead, but as he gets up ahead, the path will open, just like we had in our reading. Once you get up to the path, it will open like it's supposed to. But it won't open until you actually get up there. So if you stop right here, the path's never going to open. You have to actually get up to the path before it opens. All right, and then we'll get some final messages, and that will be it. All right, final messages for our love reading for tonight. Our singles love reading. Any messages for our singles love reading? Any messages for a singles love reading? Shadow work. All right, this is enough. All right, we have the player card, charming, manipulative, karmic, and being tested. Remember, the universe and God will always test you. If you're saying you want to be in a serious commitment, you're going to be tested by the universe. And they're going to bring Jezebels towards you to see if you fall for them and sleep with them and flirt with them. Because if you're saying you want a true commitment and be loyal, and then you go and sleep with a karmic, well, then you're still in your player energy and you're not ready for a commitment. Relationship, that's a true commitment, a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend. So if you're saying you want this, you can no longer be in this player energy. You have to give that up. Home, comfort, safety, belonging, and shelter. When you finally get in a true relationship, it will feel like home when you're with that person. Fated meeting, meant to be, destiny, predetermined, and encounter. Yes, when you're with the person that the universe wants you to be with, your soulmate, your twin flame, it will be a fated meeting. It will feel like home, and it will be a true relationship. So always listen to the signs and synchronicities, coincidences, signal hints, messages from the universe that will lead you to where you need to go. Truth, confessions, clarity, reveal, and secrets. Remember, you cannot have secrets to be in your north node. You have to have your true authentic self. You cannot have a mask on. You have to have clarity. You cannot hide secrets from anyone. Healing, wounds, improving, mending, and progress. You have to heal. You have to do the shadow work to get to your north node. You cannot have any more hookups, no one-night stands, no intimacy, casual relationships, or flings. Your player days have got to be over. No more hookups. When you're hooking up with people, that's creating soul ties, that creates karmic ties, and that creates losses. Between the lines, hidden meanings, vague, speculates, and implicit. No more between the lines. You can't jump between your north and south node. Secret crush. You have an admirer, an attraction, a suitor, and you will have butterflies. For this to come in, you have to step above the lines, not between it. grass is greener. Jealousy, better option. Unhappy, deserve better. Yeah, you thought the Jezebel was a better option, but it's not. The grass is never greener on the Jezebel side. Divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, supernatural, and karma. Remember, now is karma time. People are getting their karma. So if you do not want karma, close out those karmic cycles and end them now. Move away from them as far as possible. Or you will get stuck in the karmic drama and the karmic downfalls of the towers that will be coming down. So that is the reading tonight. It is 2:20 in the morning. I hope everybody enjoyed their Cinco de Mayo. I sure did. And have a great morning. Get some sleep. And I will see you guys on the next one. God bless.